So there's a great line in that song, and I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit. And it's about, you can maybe tell me what this lyric is. You can sit on your ass, or, and let the day pass, or, but it seems a shame to throw this gift away. Don't you love that lyric? Not just because we say ass in church, but because it's true. You know, we can just sit around and complain and do the same old, or we can really get this idea of the magic in the moment. So, Childlike Wonder. That's the title of my talk today. But I want to start with some questions. Every single week, I get to come up here, and I really mean that. I get to come up here and talk. Every single week, I get to sit in the privacy of my own life and see what spirit in me, that thing in me, has to say. And I could come up here every week and give a lecture, and some people have said, you know, what's your lecture going to be like? When I hear the word lecture, it kind of bristles me. You know, it's like, I'm not up here lecturing. What I'm up here doing is living. And I'm up here allowing things to come through me. But I think it's very important for us all to allow things to come through us. And the whole idea of wonder is that we stop thinking we know. The whole idea of childlike wonder is to see everything with new eyes. And how often have you said to yourself, oh, I know what this is? Or, oh, I know who she is. What times have you done that? Oh, I know who that person is. This is what they're going to do. We do that. We characterize something, we judge something, we decide we know what it's going to be, so we don't allow it to be anything else. How many times have you felt people hold you in who they think you are, and it bristles at you because you know you're not their version of you, right? You have changed somehow. Something has changed. I can't tell you how many people I run into. I mean, my family alone, who it's taken years. I've been a minister for 14 years. It has taken years for many of them to even accept me as a minister because they're all Catholic and they think a minister is a priest. And if you're not a priest, you're not a minister. And I just won't go that far to accommodate them to be a priest. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, this whole concept. So I have some questions for you, except my phone is not helping. I have some questions for you today, and it's more important for me that you just listen to the question. Now, don't try to answer it. I know we have a lot of A personalities here today, where you're going to want to answer the question, right, Jose? Yeah. You're going to want to know the answer to the question so that you can talk about it later at dinner, right? The answer. But that's not what I want. I want you to hear the question, live the question, see what it brings to you. And the first question I have for you is kind of a simple one. And it's this. Why are you sitting here today? Why are you sitting here today? You could be a lot of places right now. You could be at some great restaurant. You could have stayed home and watched television. You could be at the beach watching the sun, having watched the sunset. You could be in a lot of different places, but you chose to be here. So why are you sitting here today? And that takes me to the next question, which is, what do you expect to get? You're expecting something. You cannot go through life without expecting something in every situation. Whether you admit it or not, whether you know it or not, you will expect. There is an expectancy in you with every interaction, every person you meet. I see Karen, I have an expectation. What's our conversation going to be like? There are expectations that we have. So what are you expecting to get tonight? And then on the flip side of that, what are you expecting to give tonight? And I don't mean monetarily. I mean, how much of you are you expecting to spend tonight? How much of you are you expecting to give over tonight? Did you come here to hear something bigger? Did you come here to allow something to happen to you? Did you come here because your friend asked you to? Why are you here? Why are you sitting here? What do you expect to get? And what do you expect to give? Now let me ask you this. How many holiday seasons have you lived through? How many holiday seasons have you lived through? And I'm talking about how many Christmases have you lived through? How many Hanukkahs have you lived through? Does anyone here celebrate Kwanzaa? No. So, oh, you do? Oh my God, that's fabulous. So how many holiday seasons have you lived through? And I'm kind of asking you how old you are, but I'm really asking you to think about, you know, they say like when you're about to die and your whole life flashes before you? Well, let all of those holiday seasons flash before you. How many have you lived through? How do you expect to feel this holiday season? What have you already decided about this holiday season? And then my last question to you is, how old are you? How old are you? So I'm 62. I have had 62, I know, no, who can believe that, but it's true. I'm 62 years old. So I've had 62 Christmases. 62 Christmases. And I remember most of them. I don't remember the really early ones, but I remember a lot of the early ones. So I've had 62 holiday seasons. You know what that means? That means that I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen at Christmas time. Yes? Don't you all have a pretty good idea? Do you know who you're buying presents for? Do you know who you're getting presents from? Uh-oh. Right? Do you know where you're going to be on Christmas night? Do you have your Christmas plans planned? Do you know what this holiday season is going to be like? Because here's what I'm going to suggest. Yes, Suzanne Benoit went, great. And that's true. But here's what I'm going to suggest. In order to live this month in Childlike Wonder, you have to stop knowing so much. You have to stop same-olding yourself to your being really old. You have to be willing to see it all through the eyes of a child, childlike wonder. You have to have that thing called wonder. You have to be willing to release what you think you're expecting. You even have to release what you think you're going to give and allow something bigger to show up. Now, that's for this month, that's for Christmas. That's really a great model for your entire life. To not know. To not set this up in a way that you'll either be happy or disappointed. Because when you live your life from an understanding that life always unfolds perfectly, you really defy the idea of being disappointed. So, I want to read you a definition of wonder. And it is this. Hold on. A rapt attention or astonishment at something awesomely mysterious or new to one's experience. Hear it again. A rapt attention or astonishment at something awesomely mysterious or new to one's experience. So I wasn't planning on this, wasn't expecting this, but last night I had an experience of this. Now, I will say this, and Connie's not in the room, so I can say this. I don't like Disneyland. Anybody with me? Okay. Anybody not with me? God, you turned so fast. So I don't like Disneyland, but I also don't like Universal Studios. I don't like theme parks. I don't like them because they're too crowded most of the times. People are pushing, and the consciousness seems just a little lower than I want to be at. And no judgment on you. I'm sure you all go in a very different way. But I don't necessarily like theme parks. So when my nephew was coming, Kevin said to me, why don't we take him to Universal Studios? And I was like, yes, and unlike Karen Frost, or unlike Ronnie, I don't go to theme parks very often. I have not assimilated to that. It's one thing I'm happy to be in a disagreement over. But I said I would go. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, you know what? I'll go. It's fine. You know what? Let's do it. Let's make it good. Let me make it good for me. I know I can have a different experience of this. Not so much. So we go to Universal, and it is crowded, and there's a lot of people singing a lot of Christmas tunes, a lot of things going on. And so we go on these rides. Now, here's the thing. We had, first of all, we had Hannah Blaisdell with us, so she works at Universal, so that meant we could go to the front of every line. And we also had a friend also working there who gave us the password to go to the front of every line. Now, most of you think, awesome, right? I'm like, that was hell to me. Because I like the hour-long wait in a line, because that's an hour of me knowing exactly where I am, and the line's going to move very slowly, and we'll be able to have nice discussions and play some fun games, waiting to go down that horrible roller coaster ride. So now I've agreed to go to the park, and we have a pass to go to the front of every line, which means we will get to every ride there is in that park. Again, I know that I am equal to every experience because my mind brought it to me. So I choose to enjoy it. So we go through these rides, and they were they were fine. We went to the what are those animals? Those machines that Transformers. The Transformers ride, which was really awesome. But I have to say, there's something about those rides that make me a little nauseous. Just a little nauseous. So then we go to Harry Potterville. Now, I like Harry Potter World, really. Harry Potter World. And I'm thinking, all right, this is beautiful. It's very nice. It looks like Harry Potter World. It's really nice, but it's really crowded. And there's a lot of people walking around in Harry Potter outfits, which was just a little weird, a little disconcerting. I wasn't judging them much, but so we get on the Harry Potter ride, and it's like, it looks cute. It looks like a little swing set, and you 4 people sit on a little swing set, and your feet are dangling. And I'm thinking, this will be sweet. How bad can this be? We get in. They lock us in. Y'all know I do not like to be constrained. So we're and I always leave a little room, as if I'm going to crawl out in the middle of a ride. I always leave a little room so I don't feel constricted. And the woman comes by and pushes it shoved, and it's like, I was like, all right, just breathe, breathe. And then I hear the people behind me say, one woman said, you know, they took away the 3D side of this because too many people were throwing up. And then I hear the person next to her respond and say, but they're still throwing up a lot. And I'm like, how bad can this swing really be? So now it starts. And at first I wasn't so bad. I was a little nauseous from the last 25 rides. But we started, and it was really sweet. You know, at first, Harry's looking at you, and I'm turning to Kevin going, he still looks good. And I'm doing this all day. I was like, how does he still look so young? And I'm trying to busy my mind, and all of a sudden, it's like, and now we are flying over their houses on a broomstick, and it feels very real. But it's like they're doing triple circles and flipping, and just when I think, and I'm thinking to myself, how appropriate is it going to be when everyone is flying around Harry Potter World with my vomit? Because it's on its way. I could feel it. My head could feel it. I was like, you know what? Childlike Wonder, kids throw up all the time. So I'm just going to let it rip if that's what I need to do to get through this ride. Except I really wasn't doing it because I was trying to really keep it in. Because I have a little decorum. So finally, it comes to a stop, and I'm like, oh my God. And then it does the exact same thing backwards. And I was so sick by the time we got off that. And we're getting off it, right? And everybody's in front of me like, oh my God, that was awesome. I'm like, and Kevin turned to me, and I just said, I think I'm sick. I was trying to like be nice and go, yeah. Well, first I did say, it was cool, really cool. And then my nephew said, I'm a little nauseous. I was like, it must be a Philly thing. It's a Philadelphia thing. The Philly people are nauseous on this ride. So then they decided, here's that ride. Now they're about to pass Harry Potter's roller coaster. And I smartly said, I can't do it. You go on the roller coaster, I will wait. I will just wait, because I'm still trying to get my head from not spinning. Lest you think I'm just telling you what I did last night. Here's where the Childlike Wonder came in. I realized, standing there nauseous, with thousands of Harry Potter coats walking by me, And I see the roller coaster and everybody's screaming and everybody's having a really good time. Even my cousin, he decided to go on the roller coaster even though he was sick. Really? So I'm standing there and I was like, you know what you're going to talk about tomorrow. And you're going to talk early in the morning at Westlake and then again at GTC. So why are you fighting this? Your whole month is about childlike wonder. You are in like a child's dream world. Why are you fighting this? Oh, and by the way, and this is how I talk to myself, by the way, do you know why you're nauseous? Because you decided before you even walked in here you hated it. And I'm like, really? And I'm talking to myself and I'm like, oh my God, that's the absolute truth. I decided I don't like theme parks, so I went to a theme park. And I don't like those rides that make you nauseous, so I went on every one of them just to be okay with doing all of that. And then I realized I hadn't looked at one thing yesterday new. Everything was being processed through my belief system that I thought was perfectly in place. I knew what I thought, and nothing was going to change it. Now, mind you, none of that was done consciously. I just got it when I was standing there completely nauseous. And then I looked around. Gets me a little emotional. Then I looked around, and I was like, this is one of the most beautiful places that they've created. And I started to see things that I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen anything almost. I was just in that park, in the consciousness of, I don't like this, but I'm making it work for my family. Then I started to look around, and I saw flowers, and I saw kids and adults in Harry Potter outfits looking so joyous. I stopped looking at the Harry Potter cloak, and I looked at the face that was wearing it. And I got it. And I just started to expand, and I felt happier, and I wasn't as nauseous. But from that moment on, walking out, I kept looking at what I needed to look at and seeing, not from a place of, I know what I feel, but from a place of what's here to feel, what's here to see. And there's a quote by Ernest Holmes that when I finally got the sense of this quote, I'm going to read it for you. Ernest Holmes said this: this is the great mystery, the limitless wonder of the universe, that which out of nothing can make something. But its nothing is really the substance of every something. Now, last week I talked about the nothingness. So I want to read it again. This is the great mystery, the limitless wonder of the universe, that which out of nothing can make something. But its nothing is really the substance of every something. The limitless wonder of the universe, childlike wonder, an unlimited wonder, an unlimited ability to create out of nothing something. That's what God is. But more importantly, that's what I am. That's what you are. We are not relegated to the experiences we have to feel them the exact same way we expect to feel them. Because I am the limitless wonder of the universe that can make something out of nothing and change anything into what I desire it to be. So you are the limitless wonder of the universe. So Johann Wolfgang von Goethe said this: a man should hear a little music, read a little poetry, and see a fine picture every day of his life, in order that worldly cares may not obliterate the sense of the beauty and wonder that is, which God has implanted in the human soul. Hear a little music. That means music that you choose to listen to. Not just music you hear going around. When do you decide to listen to the music you want to hear? To read poetry, see a fine picture. Whatever it is for you that makes you so excited to be in this awe-driven life that you're living. Because Charlie Chaplin said this: you'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. Meaning, you are never going to find what you want in life if you're not willing to look into the highest level of your consciousness. And Socrates said, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. So this month, we get to experience the holidays in a brand new way for each and every one of us. We do not have to have the same old holiday. We don't have to do things the same. You can even do things the same, but notice what you're doing. How many of you have Christmas decorations that you've had for years and years and years? I have Christmas decorations from my childhood that we pull out every year. I can tell you this Christmas, I am going to look at every single decoration and know what there is to know about it, and not just pick it up and say, oh, Aunt Mary made that. No, Aunt Mary made this. Let me find something new in this. That's what we get to do. That's the limitless wonder of the universe. That's who I am. That's who you are. That's what we get to be. That's what this teaching gives us. An ability to go beyond the same old, no matter what. So as you go through this year, this month, the rest of this year, as you go through the rest of this year, commit to yourself. Commit to start seeing things anew. You know, it was funny. Kevin said to me last night, he said, maybe next time we go to Universal, which I thought was daring to even say that sentence. He said, maybe next time we go to Universal, maybe we'll ride the Harry Potter ride first, and you'll have a better, what did you say? You'll have a better resistance to it or something, some nonsense that was going to talk me into this. And what I really thought when he said it was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I said it's not happening about 1,000 times in my head. I don't know if I ever said it's not. I did say it's not happening to you. To the whole car, I think it's not happening. It is happening. And I will. I'm telling you now. First. But do it first. Because I realized I wasn't on that ride. What was on that ride was a decision about that ride. And if you think your body doesn't follow your mind, you're wrong. It does. There is nothing, and there can be nothing in this world that has a hold on me somehow. I must understand that every single thing in life shows up because I put it there. And if I want it there in a different way, it's up for me to put it here in a different way. So, I invite you this Christmas to see these holidays in a whole new way. When we go Christmas caroling, I hope you all show up for Christmas caroling on December 16th at 7 o'clock at our house. And I know that we are going to walk out into that neighborhood like we never have before and sing like we never have before. And there will be no same old this Christmas for any of us, yes? Seeing it brand new through the eyes of a child. What if this were your first cognizant Christmas? What if this was the first Christmas? Look at those two amazing twins back there, who this will be their second Christmas yet? Yes? Second? They were in the hospital on the first one. But this will be their second Christmas. You remember that first Christmas that you really were awake, that you paid attention, that you knew what was happening, and you were waiting for Santa or the Hanukkah lighter? My mind going, correct that. But you remember when you were a child and that first, I know there is a childlike wonder in every single one of us. But you know what you got to get out of the way? The stodgy old adult that think he or she knows what they're doing. I so applaud Karen and Ronnie for showing up here in those outfits, and I'm going to go looking for a superhero shirt for next week, probably a tank top. If I'm going to wear an undershirt, I'm going to show you what I got. So really spend the time this month. Really spend the time seeing things differently. And I don't mean to just change it up. I mean see what's really there. When you give a gift, look into the eyes of the person you give that gift to. Let that relationship happen in that gift giving. Don't just give gifts out because, oh yeah, I have to do this. Here's your gift, here's your gift. Take the time this Christmas, this holiday season, whatever it is you're celebrating, and really see the person you're interacting with. Take the time to tap into your childlike wonder. I guarantee you, we are all going to leave 16 having been seen in 16 and step into 2017 in a whole new light, with a whole new consciousness. If we're willing to take these 30 days, I think it's 30 days now, today's the 4th, the rest of these 31 days, and really, really focus on tapping into the truth of who you are. So I want you to all take a deep breath. Robbie, could you guys come back up here? Everybody take a deep breath. And if Robbie, if you could just give me some music. Anything, Robbie. Yeah. Some Childlike Wonder music. Okay? Let's hear what you come up with. Are you tapping into that child in you? So take a deep breath. Oh, it's Margaret's song. It's a little bit of Margaret's song. Okay. So I invite you to close your eyes. I'm 3 years old. I'm on Allegheny Avenue. My older brother's 5, and he's in the living room. I'm in a crib. And I'm making noise, so they bring me out. And I see this giant Christmas tree, like 10 times the size of me. I don't know what it's all about, but it is amazing. It is so cool. My brother seems very excited about something. I don't know what it is, but it's really exciting. And I can feel the anticipation. My mom was baking cookies. My dad had just come back from his police walk, and he's in his uniform still. And I remember just feeling that something was going to happen. Something amazing is about to happen. So what I know for each one of us is that there are an infinite number of moments like that coming, happening from this moment forward. It can be the smile in a child at Starbucks. It can be an adult wearing a cape in a castle. It can be a little dog looking in your face and smiling. It doesn't matter what it is. God is everywhere, knowing that you are it. And so I just allow this to be the truth of this entire season as it comes, that the childlike wonder within me meets the childlike wonder that is within you, and that in that place we recognize the childlike wonder that is everywhere present. And so I just relax into that, let it be so, as together we all say, and so it is. Thank you. Namaste. Okay.